Folks, we have a show for you today. I'm not going to say call it big. I'm not going to call it small. It's a show. But as right now, we're actually going to get right into it. Actually, I'll let Kevin talk and see. How was your day, Kevin?
It was fine. It was all right. It's a
But
Tuesday.
yeah, a little typical Tuesday. But we both kind of found this out just now. The NHL draft lottery is actually going on right now. We're going to get into it a little bit. Buffalo, their picks are set 9 and 16.
Hey, that's a good bundle. I mean, if they decide there's someone in it that they like, they could take those 3 first-round picks and they could trade up because they're going to get the Panthers. And the Panthers are currently tied 2-2 in their series against Capitals. So, I mean, that looks like it's going to go the stretch. So, there's a really good possibility that Sabres get, man, they could get they get 3 decent picks. And I don't know if they will do that. That doesn't seem like something Kevin Adams would do. So far, what we've seen from Kevin Adams in the draft is that he's going to go get good guys that can play. Like Jack Quinn, people thought that was the worst draft pick of the year, and he's turned out to be amazing. And then the Rosick guy from Russia that they drafted, 11, he's turned out great too. So like those are key players that are going to be really good for the Sabres coming down. So hey, I'm trusting the process. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and then we'll talk more about the Panthers series later. We have the NHL players coming. I figure we'll start off the NHL draft lottery because it's happening right now. Everything went down the board until we got to number 5, I believe it was, the New Jersey Devils. They'll get a top 3 pick along with Montreal and Arizona.
I was hoping Seattle would get in there.
Yeah, Seattle. You can see it was funny. You can see the fan, one of the fan in the back are going just like next to
I was hoping for their sake that they would do it.
Nah, Seattle's got to go through some heartbreak. They can't get a good player off the bat. But we'll see how Montreal goes. Please, Montreal, please let them fall to 3. I don't want to hear someone.
I think he's a fake fan, honestly. I think he's more of a Sabres fan these days.
He's turning into a Sabres fan? All right. Well, we'll keep you updated on that because there's a commercial break right now, and I'm not gonna sit here and wait for him to go. But we have more ESPN news to talk about with the NFL schedule. There have been, well, I'll call them leaks, even though they're not really. Actually, they kind of are leaks, but I don't know what you call them because it's news releases. I guess that's what they're called. Buffalo, they'll host the Titans week 2. On Monday Night Football, alongside the Eagles against the Vikings. This is a bit of a head scratcher to me of why they're doing a doubleheader.
Well, probably. So think about it for a second, non-biased or anything. So the Bills Titans is going to start at 7:15, I think, to believe the kickoff is. And then the Vikings is going to start until 8:30. The game's already going to be done with by then. The Bills are already going to be up by 30 points. So, like, no one needs to watch the second half of the game. So my non-biased opinion is that the game's going to be over anyways. So everyone's going to switch their TV over, and then the ratings are going to be really, really good for the Bills first half, and then everyone's just going to go watch the Minnesota Vikings Eagles game. That's my prediction. My non-biased prediction.
All right, they're announcing.
Oh,
they got it. They got it. Son of a bitch.
That team, I don't know what happened to them, but they were in the finals last year, and the fact that now they're in the lottery spot, they had a lot of injuries. So watch out for the Canadians again next year. Watch out.
Yeah, now we're gonna.
Watch out.
I just don't want to hear him talk. I don't want to hear him talk about it. Oh, it's gonna suck. All right. Anyways, back to here. Yeah, but you like they were talking about in the Grassy Perna show. They usually have the doubleheader week 1 where they're not congruent. Like you don't have one game going through. Now you're gonna have 2 games overlap. I don't. Is this something they want to? It's obviously something they want to test going forward, but I don't know if it's gonna work. You're gonna hurt because you're hurting ratings for both games.
Yeah, but is it to a point to where it's just one game though? It's just one game. would have either of those two games gotten any more ratings if it was on a Sunday at like 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock? That would have been the real question. Like I think ultimately the ratings would still be better for both games on Monday night versus Sunday night versus Sunday. So I still think the ratings are going to be better. It might be split, but I still think it's going to be better.
Yeah, it seems weird that they're going to have two games at the same time on a Monday night, because this is something that they talked about years ago, about 20 years ago, I think. So we'll see how this experiment goes going forward. But we also had the CBS announcement today of one of their games. They have a Christmas Day game where the Broncos will go at Los Angeles for a 4:30 start Christmas Day. That will be on both Nickelodeon and CBS. The Nickelodeon experiment comes back again. On Christmas Day, nonetheless. I mean, this is probably smart because kids are going to be playing with their. Well, it's going to be smart because you have kids going to be playing with their toys, not really wanting to watch TV and whatnot.
But
Kids playing.
He'll be on.
Will it? Will it be on? Will they be watching Nickelodeon though, or are they going to be watching family home movies or something Christmassy?
That was never one of my Christmas. That wasn't my Christmas. So that wasn't ever me. That wasn't ever my family. We never playing with our toys had a TV watching Christmas movies. That was never me. So I can't really say, but I could see this being a possibility. I mean, if it was between if it's a dad and a couple kids, it's between watching cartoons, which he won't want to do, watching the football game, which the kids won't want to do, or watching on Nickelodeon. I think that's a pretty good middle ground for all parties. So I don't know. It's an experiment. Why not? I mean, clearly it's been working. They've been doing it. They were doing replays of games last year. It was Wednesday night on Nickelodeon. They were doing replay highlights. They're doing like top tens, and they did the playoff game again last year and the year before. So clearly, whatever they're doing is working, or they wouldn't be doing it.
I wanted to watch the Nickelodeon game last year but I got outvoted by the rest of my family. So
I started the first one when Mitch won
MVP, Nickelodeon Value Player.
Yes, I watched that one, and it was interesting. They made it fun for kids, but some other people enjoyed it. I've known adults that watched it. They enjoyed it. So
yeah, it's just tomorrow it'll be either NBC or Fox with their leak, and then Thursday whoever the opposite one is will get a leak too, or release, I should say, not a leak, before the Thursday night schedule release.
Yep.
Now,
before we get too far, sorry. How many primetime games are both going to get?
Well, we know they have one. I'm gonna say 4.
Say 4.
Hold on. What's included in primetime? Like, I get it. Does Thanksgiving?
Monday, Thursday.
Okay, because I was thinking like what.
I would consider a
Thanksgiving. Okay.
I would consider it, but I don't think it's technically considered.
Because if you're that only game in that slot.
Yeah, it's prime. You're it. I consider it, but I know that the NFL does not consider that prime time. The only prime time game is that late game.
Well, they're probably not going to do it, but I want to see the Bills play another Thanksgiving game.
I heard that there's a possibility. And
the third one in 4 years, I don't see it happening.
But what happens when the Bills play on Thanksgiving the past 3 years? What's happened? They've looked absolutely amazing. So I don't know. I've been saying it. The NFL is so much better when the Bills are good. And
yeah, no bias there at all.
Oh no bias at all. There's no bias here at all. No bias. So what? Yeah, but no. Okay. So you're going on.
All right. Well, we'll stay in topic of NFL news. Your boy, well, one of the former Bills is going to Houston. Jerry Hughes I don't know what to say. I mean, we kind of expected it. He's kind of getting older. He needs to go to a team. Well, Houston definitely desperately needs people to come in and change that culture around from what it was last year and what it's been since Bill O'Brien changed the team around. What else can we add here? I mean, we saw what PFF said they needed every position, and this is going to help them maybe their defensive line out for at least the next year.
I think it's a good sign by the Texans. I haven't looked into the specs and how much he's making. I don't see this as an overly crazy call by Jerry signing there. I mean, he's not winning a Super Bowl there, so and he was making decent money in Buffalo. But there's no spot on the roster for him anymore. I mean, that's just what it is. They're younger, they're faster, they're cheaper. So they're Jerry Hughes' time in Buffalo's done. But man, has he been a great player on the Bills defense for the past 5 years at least more than that. So it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, I'm happy that I was able to find a location. I was actually, just for my non-biased Bills opinion again, I kind of wish he would retire as Bill, but again, I'm not biased at all. So that's just me. I don't know. Do you have anything else to add about Jerry Hughes?
I mean, like you said, he's been here for a while. He was 4th on the all-time Bill sacks list.
That's great.
Yeah, but I don't remember when Buffalo got him. I want to say 13 or 14, if I remember correctly. But I wish him the best in Houston. I mean, Houston's gonna, like we said, he's gonna need a lot of help going forward, and I think Jerry Hughes is that guy who can help build that defensive line and help out some of the younger players that are on that defensive line. And when did he come to Buffalo?
2013. He was traded by Calvin Shepard, linebacker.
Yeah, so I was right, 2013. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 9 years as a Bill.
He has 124. Sorry. He has 54 sacks in his career for Buffalo. He has 127 games started for Buffalo as well. In those, was that 8 years? 9 years?
9 years.
Wow. That's crazy for a team that has been through so much in the past 9 years. The fact that someone's been there. He's the only one, though.
Yeah.
That's been there since. And it's sad, but it shows the lengths the team has gone to become so good. It's not like he requested out. The team got to a point where we're good and we respect what you've done for the past 9 years. But however, we have to move on. We have to get younger and better, and that's sad. But at the same time, it just shows the growth the team's made over those 9 years. Really, let's be honest, it's not 9 years. The past 4 years under the Sean McDermott, and we're going to be.
Kevin, you're getting quiet over there. There's something. Your background noise is taking over. But what?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now it's my time to talk because I think we both know the Yankees. Oh man, they had 20 wins. They're the first team to 20 wins. We're gonna do this. Mute you and take. Oh, I don't want to maximize you. What am I doing? But no, the Yankees first 20 wins. Their winning streak extended to 11 games, and then they happened to lose the final game in Toronto. Had an off day Thursday before coming back home to play the Rangers. Friday, Saturday were both rained out. They had a doubleheader Sunday where they won on a walk-off home run, and the Rangers manager also went off saying that the Yankees play in a Little League stadium, but if Gleyber Torres played at 26 out of the 30 ballparks in the MLB, it would have been a home run. So I don't know what he's going off about. The fact of the matter is, he's a moron. I don't know what to say besides that. As far as if it's such a little league ballpark, why did the Rangers only score 5 runs in 3 games? I mean, if you're gonna call out other teams, we're gonna call you out right back. So maybe work on your team before you start complaining about other teams. I don't know. Maybe play better. You could have hit home runs just as easily as the Yankees do. I mean, you're playing in the same stadium as them for 9 innings. Do better. Is there anything you want to add there, bud?
I guess I agree with you for the most part. Even though I do think that the Yankee Stadium is tiny. However, you did a good point, though. I mean, the other team has an equal amount of opportunities to score as the Yankees do, get runs. So it's a fair point. So, yeah, nothing else to say really there. But yeah, that's impressive. First team to 20 wins. It's probably going to choke it this year.
Shut up. It's not happening. This is a team of destiny. We've waited so damn long. 13 years.
That's not long.
Shut up, Kevin. I know, 86 years. Shut up. But I want to see a championship. I have never seen my favorite 2 teams do so well in the same time.
You should be a Bandits fan too. Bandits are insane.
Yeah, I mean, apparently they're going to the second round of the playoffs there. And the Amherst, the Sabres AHL minor league team, they're out of the second round.
I'm this close of paying $30 to watch the game for the rest of the playoffs. I'm this close if I want to. They're playing good. So I'm close. I don't think
you're going to pay for the outline streams?
No, it's like $30 AHL TV. You get all the playoffs. So my thing is, I didn't want to buy it for the first round because it's the best of 3. So literally, they could lose 2 games to be done. But now it's a series of 7. So it's better. The game just probably is starting right now. It started at 7.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends. If they make it to the next round, then yeah, maybe. But as of right now, I'm content with just scoreboard watching for now.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep on topic of hockey playoffs because we're there. So, Nashville swept. They're out. The Colorado Avalanche. They bounced Nashville in 4. At one of the games, I remember I was at work and I was like, "Oh man, it's a heartbreaker for Nashville because they did play so well to get to overtime and just losing on a goal." But did you see what happened last night with I forget who shot it, but the puck went through the net, like actually through the netting.
Yes,
you see Ekholm like turn up.
Yeah. It's a hard shot. It's a hard shot. I played hockey, and the nets that I played on aren't as nearly as nice as those nets. But I've never seen anyone shoot it through the net. So the fact that's hard shots.
Yeah, and excuse me. Even the announcer said, I've only seen that one time before, and it was in the Olympics. Like, you can't tell me like these guys don't want it. But
it's just gonna be a hard out in this Stanley Cup run. But
let's take a look at the rest of the series
in the next round. I think. I mean, both of us have it predicted that Avalanche loses next round.
Oh yeah, they're Central, aren't they?
Yeah,
they'll play the Wild or the Blues. But let's take a look around the league. Panthers, Capitals. Every series is tied at 2, except for the Avalanche and Predators, who that series is already over, and the Rangers, Penguins. Penguins are up 3-1. I could see one of my finals teams out in the first round.
Oh wait, I think I have the Rangers going too. Oh no.
Yeah, this is not good. They need to buckle down here and start shooting well because this is not looking pretty for them. I don't want to see Penguins move on.
Yep, I have the Rangers going too. Nice.
great. But
So one of us is going to be wrong then. After this series, one of us is going to be wrong. Presumably, if the Rangers lose, the Wild and the Blues both can't win. So one of us, our bracket is going to be completely done with.
well, for finals at least.
For finals, yeah. That's really the only people really care about is finals.
Shut your mouth. Listen,
Okay.
we care about okay. You and I should care about this more than other people. The Capitals Panthers series more than Sabres fans should at least. Besides Capitals and Panthers fans, because if the Caps win, the Sabres get a better pick.
Absolutely, that's the best. I'm talking about bracket wise, about not caring after that. Our tournaments that we did, but yeah, this is huge for the Sabres. The Capitals winning this series would be very. It's not going to be that big of a difference when prospects for hockey, because there's some players that even when you get into the 20s, there's some people who, I don't have them going to the third round. I don't have them going to the fourth round. So for hockey prospects like that, it's not as important. But again, if the Sabres want to move up in the draft, it's going to be a decent pick. I mean, it's a first rounder. And if it's going to be low 20s, it's going to make it even better for the Sabres to possibly package and move up. Again, whatever Kevin Adams decides to do, I'm all for it because he is the next coming of Brandon Bean, and I'm going to be honest with that. That's honestly what I think.
The Sabres, the Capitals came so close to going up 3-1, but of course Sam Reinhart had to score his first career postseason goal with under 2 minutes to go in the third, tie it up, and then the Capitals lost in overtime. You just feel the momentum swinging back in the direction of Florida now, going back home where it's a best of 3 and Florida hosts 2 games.
Yeah, I'm happy for Sam Reinhart. He was always one of those players in Buffalo that you want him to be successful for. Him and Ristolainen are one of those few players that left Buffalo last year that I actually hope good for. And good for him for coming out and getting that first goal for his career. However, I just wish it wasn't a meaningless goal, not a goal that forced it into overtime.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And then the overtime goal happened, and I'm just like, because Oshie scored another. Like he scored the first goal of the game. I was like, please, let's have it, please. And then they just fell apart. They collapsed, which seems to happen every year since 2018 when they won the cup. So, but now we have Boston, Carolina. Boston, they were down 2-0 when they were going home. They've tied it up now, and right now they're on ESPN against Carolina. Carolina needs to pull it. I shouldn't say pull it rabbit out of the hat, but they're in the same scenario as Florida. They are the 1 seed. They have the best of 3. They host 2 games. Is there who's your biggest disappointment so far out of all the series? Is it the Rangers? Because we both had them and they're down 3-1.
Definitely, it has to be the Rangers because not only did we have them winning the first round, but we also had them in the Stanley Cup. So this is a big disappointment, especially because Penguins aren't. Their team is old. Their team is not the same as it used to be. And the fact that they're going to New York and putting on this kind of clinic on a team that we had winning. So it's disappointing. But, it is what it is. Rangers still are our youngest team. Imagine this team with Jack Eichel. Because this was one of the trade locations, the most popular trade location for Jack Eichel was the Rangers. I'm happy that they sent him to the other side of the country, as far away from as possible. But yeah, and the fact that some of these players are still producing, like Jake Gretzko, and all these, and let's see, who else is? It's not going to show me now. Is the Penguins right here? Hope it's not going.
Yeah, because even Urinate Tree or Piston Tree, as Pat McAdoo calls them, said this team is going to be pretty much dead. I shouldn't say dead next year, but like they're going to be having a lot of pieces move.
Yeah, so like Tang's not going to be there next year.
I think Malkin is
not
like
going to be there next year.
Like this is their last time as a core.
Yes. So they definitely have to keep it together, but they're not going to be the same team next year. So the fact that they're doing it now is good for them. But let's see. Rust has a goal and 4 assists. Jason Zucker, he's old. He has 2 goals. Chris Letang, he has 3 assists. Sidney Crosby, 2 goals, 7 assists. Malkin. So it's all these old players that are really producing for them that just has that extra experience that a lot of the Rangers players don't have. Rangers players don't have the experience that the Penguins have. So I think that's really what it is for the series currently is the Rangers are the better team, but the Penguins have been consistently going to the playoffs for, oh my gosh, it feels like my life.
Yeah.
Since they got Crosby. So they've been consistently going to the playoffs. So I think that's what the big difference is in the series.
So because you took who I would have said is a big disappointment, I'm going to make this point, and then I'm going to go somewhere else because you're a jackass. But once Game 1 happened and they went to 3 overtimes and Pittsburgh won, I thought that was like, okay, we might have just made a big mistake in our brackets because that 3 overtime loss is going to be demoralizing because you played essentially 2 games worth of 1 game and you lost.
Yep.
So not only are you tired AF, you're down 1-0. You're going to be like you're going to have to push harder just to tie it. Like that's not something you want to do. And so I think that's when that was my point of okay, now might be I should have switched over to Penguins. I didn't, but because I was like, you know something, let it ride. Now my biggest disappointment, I'm gonna go with Calgary. The Stars actually backed into the playoffs, but Vegas choked down the stretch. Dallas should not. Well, Dallas should be here because Press also choked down the stretch, but that's beside the point. Calgary should be doing a lot better than what they are doing against Dallas.
Calgary is a favorite also to win the cup, and the fact that they are down. Yeah, so either going down to the wire. I mean, currently tied. The series is 2-2. I mean, that is a lot for a team like the Wild to make the playoffs as it is. I mean, you think about it. The way the divisions were lined up this year, anyways, I wish I had this up.
I wish that they would go back to the top 8. I hate this division playoff bull crap.
Well, the only thing is that if you look at the standings of the NHL, the Dallas Stars. What's happened? Hold up. Are you going to give me the standings this time? I don't want facts on standings. Regular season standings right here. Okay. So, conference. Let's see. Division. So the Sabres ended with 75 points. The Stars had 98. So 97. And you go over to the wild card teams. I mean, it's not as bad, but the way the Western Division has been compared to the East has been ridiculous the last couple of years. The West has been so much harder to get in the playoffs than the West is, which is kind of opposite of how it's been majority of our lives. The West was always a stronger conference. Watching West hockey is a so much different game than watching Eastern hockey. But for the Sabres, it's going to be a hard track to get over that 25 points to get in. I mean, that's 25 points in your tie with the Capitals, not even in the playoffs. And then it's 7 more points ahead of that is Boston. So that's 32 points. And the Sabres did not have a bad season at all. And they have a great season, but compared to the seasons in the past, it wasn't bad.
No.
At all. So it's a little demoralizing, but at the same time, the conferences aren't going to be able to keep it up forever. I mean, Boston's old, Capitals are old, and so are the Penguins. Those 4 teams right there. I mean, someone's going to have to replace those teams. There's not a much younger team in the league than Buffalo's, so the upside's there.
Carolina scored. Let's go. All right. But yeah, I think this is definitely going to be like the last playoffs where you see a lot of these teams like Boston, Toronto's still young, I should say. Tampa Bay, like they're starting to get a little bit, starting to show their age a little bit.
They're going to have cap issues.
Pittsburgh, Washington, like a lot of these teams in the Eastern Conference that we traditionally see in the playoffs, like this could be their tipping point where we might not see 2 of them in the playoffs next year. We might not see, who knows? It might be time for the Islanders and Buffalo to show up.
I think it is. And then even like one team like the Rangers, for example, the Rangers, they were bad last year, and they had to come up this year. Like, is that something? Are they going to come back next year in the playoffs? Like, I mean, they're down 3-1, so like, there's a really good possibility that they don't come back next year, and that's another spot that's open. Toronto has to do something with their defense. Their defense is horrible. Sabres faced them and won the series this year. The Sabres won the series against Toronto. If you asked an average fan that, you would not have known that because Toronto was one of the better teams in the league and Buffalo. So the fact that Buffalo won the series is huge. And so you got to think Toronto has to do something with their defense. Their goaltending's not good. Their defense isn't good. Yes, they score a lot, but there's a certain game plan that works against Toronto, and the Sabres know that game plan. They did it, and that's why they're so successful against them. So, and the good thing about Buffalo is they have different game plans. They have good players, good young players that can adapt to game scenarios that we've seen so far throughout the season. They can shut it down when against Toronto, but they also can go out and put pressure on teams like Tampa Bay, for example. They had good games against Tampa where they put the pressure down on them. And in the next game, they faced Toronto, and it was total opposite. So it's potential, and it's all there.
All right. Well, I think it's time we end the show here, Kevin. What do you have to say?
Nothing. I think that's good. I agree. It's a shorter show today.
Yeah, not really much to talk about, but hopefully we can find more sports topics. Nothing that really hurts Buffalo, and it's actually good news for Buffalo instead of bad stuff. Oh, wait a minute. One more. Actually, no, I'm kind of getting into politics. I can't ask about Antonio Brown. What his comment on Colin Kaepernick?
What happened with Antonio Brown?
Did you see what he said about Colin Kaepernick?
No, what did he say?
Well, I'll tell you after we get off here. Anyways, like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow me on Twitch if you're on Twitch. Maybe use your subscription on me. I'll be streaming a lot more. That's gonna do it for us here at MCP, McAdoo Capstick Podcast. Hopefully we see you next week. Ciao.